Whoa, that sounds serious.
That sounds ominous, right? Doesn't it?
Water bottle right in front of your face.
I'm in the sea. I'm swimming in the sea.
This doesn't work, but
Good morning, everybody. My dear friends, I'm so happy to see you. I forgot what to say. I got so excited. I have to calm down, but I am very happy. And Baruch Hashem, we should all be happy. And like, I have a question. Why are we happy? Well, wait a minute. Question before that. Are you happy?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
more enthusiasm.
Do I hear a resounding yes?
Yeah.
Somebody give me a reason why you're happy. Just anybody, a reason why?
It's Bas Medrash Day.
No. It's Monday. That's a real reason to jump out of bed. And you guys, our Mondays are so full of mitzvahs. We come here, special, beautiful women make our delicious, loving breakfast. And then we learn, and Judy sets us up to learn and to gain and to give to each other. I don't know what the rest of your week looks like, but if it's anything like Monday, wow, we have a lot of reason to be happy, a lot of reason to thank Hashem, and he's proud of us. He loves us very, very much. If this is like the happy faces around the table, can you imagine how the malachim are dancing? I can't. And any other reason? That was a great reason. Monday. Judy, are you waving or raising?
I'm both. I'm
So
I'm
what's your
waving and
reason to be happy?
because Yehuda Goldfarb just walked in.
Wow,
That's what I was doing.
Baruch Hashem.
And she brought Ilana with her, and Ilana with her. So
Wow.
there you go.
Doba, your hand was up, is up.
You had a question, why be happy?
Why are you happy? Oh, you took my class. I'm going to take breakfast. Why am I happy? I'll start. I am a Jew.
We've known each other for a while.
You read my notes or I read your mind. How many people can say that? Not very many. Maybe dot 000. How many zeros? 3. Like 1 out of every 3,000 people in the world is a Jew. What did we do to deserve it? Nothing. We weren't born to do any mitzvahs. Hashem gave us a gift to be a Jew. How much more of a gift to become a Jew, to be the children of Avram and Sarah. And I'm Hashem's child, and I'm his only daughter, and so are you, and so are you, and so are you. Each of us is his only daughter. Now, how does that work with math? Well, I wasn't that great in math, but you know what? It adds up. It adds up. It doesn't have to go by math. It's true. Each of us is his only daughter. He calls us in Shir Hashirim, Achaisi, Rayasi, Yonasi, Tamasi, my sister, my beloved, my Yona is like a love dove. Tamasi, I don't know, what does that mean? My pure, delicious, help me.
The math works too. Hashem is 1, and you're 1. 1 times 1 is 1. No matter how many other ones you times in, it stays 1.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Tamasi is a Yona, is a dove. I never really realized this before, but once a dove gets married or mates with his mate, he never leaves her and she never leaves him. It's forever. That is how Hashem is with us. He never ever leaves us. I wedded you, I'm wedding you forever. And when he gives us his 10 commandments and he gives us his holy Torah, which is in a couple weeks on Shavuos, that's a wedding between us and him. And he weds us forever. No matter how low we fall or how far away we act or what we fall into, our neshama is, like you said, one with him. And the Baal Shem Tov said that Hashem loves the farthest, lowest Jew more than a set of parents. The father and mother love their only child born after 20 years of marriage. Their whole life, how much do they give him? How much do they love him or her? And that's how much Hashem loves the farthest, lowest Jew. So you can imagine how much he loves all the women at this table. Can you imagine? I can't. It's like exponentially mind-boggling. And a Yonah, we have a set of Yonah on our window outside our salon. And it's so much fun. They take turns, which you told me, Alicia. I didn't notice it a month ago. Our first set, this is our second. The mother.
I know.
Well, firstly, I learned that they're lovebirds. I learned that we're called a Yonah. And so I start to get a little more warmed up to them. And also, I'm not excited about what they drop on the window. But here they are sitting in like a really nice plant thing that I bought last year because I got into plants. And they take turns sitting on their 2 eggs. And we can learn from them. Firstly, the father should be involved. I don't know, 12 hours a day, but he's there. Secondly, the mother sits and she watches the world. And she sits. This is her life. And we can learn from them patience and love and caring and giving. And we tiptoe when we get around to the window, because at first they blew away when we walked because they thought maybe an enemy's coming. Not blew away, flew away. And now we tiptoe less because they're used to us. And it's so exciting because, you know, we have an empty nest syndrome. So Hashem sent us to our nest out the window. Baruch Hashem, thank you, Hashem. And Hashem loves everyone. He loves the bird. He loves the ants. This is one of my favorite stories. Well, all Baal Shem Tov stories are my favorite, but you have to hear this one. Said to students, do you want to see Hashem? I think he said that, something like that. Correct me if I'm mistaken. And they were in a forest, in the woods, like they often were, because woods are very, very, as we all know here in Tzfat, conducive to feeling Hashem, getting away from the rat race and the honking of cars and the, you know, who's going to win the next deal. And you're just, it's me and you, Hashem. It's us and you. It's you and your nature, which is unbridled love and so clear that you're our Father. So here they were in the woods in a forest, and I saw an ant scampering along. You know how ants walk like that, and then they always have a mission in mind, like they're going to get a little twig and build something. And then he comes up to an ocean, or at least Kinneret, at least a big river, and he's figuring out to himself, how am I going to work this out? Navigate this ocean. If I continue, the ant. If I continue, I'll drown. If I go around it, who knows? It might be a delay of 2 weeks. Who knows? As he's standing there, oh, by the way, this ocean was a puddle from last night's rain. And as he's figuring out what to do, a wind comes and blows a leaf off of a tree and blows it right on top of the puddle. And he scampers over the bridge that Hashem sent him on to the rest of his life. If this is how much Hashem takes care of an ant, how much does he take care of each of us, his loving daughters? Like you said, his only daughter. You know, none of the 613 mitzvahs is to be happy. The Sefer Chinuch, the Rambam counts them, and there's no mitzvah in there to be happy. But the Chassam Sofer says that it is a mitzvah to be happy. So where is it? Chassam Sofer says, what? Uh-huh. Right. He says that Simcha is the source of all the mitzvahs. All the 613 mitzvahs depend on doing them with joy. Anybody want to continue?
Didn't we get like punished or Hashem was something or other without Leibov? From there they get. That we will get punished. Oh, okay, thank you. And this is very fresh story, everybody knows what happened yesterday. So Putin sent a missile to us. But when we were on the airport, was 1,000 people there, and they fell in the grove outside the airport. This is very fresh, that's a lot.
We're living miracles.
Only meters away from the airport, or in open space, not in the building, in the building, but maybe a few meters away. Then a lot of people would be there. This
Wow.
is special, very, very fresh, it's right here.
It's all for Nisim Guyos. That's what it's about.
So here, they are protected, they are living the problem and every day it's a new, more and more story. Every day, this is very fresh, because that is.
When we recognize the miracles, Leah, then it gives us
What you're talking
happiness.
about, it's not a miracle, it just has love. Let's call it this way.
It's love.
For the ant and for, every day, it's Hashem love, everything. I don't know how. Everything.
Thank you. It's Hashem's love for each of us. And
miracle is expression. It's just expression.
And this is enough by Michael Dorfman of Yerushalayim Zatzal said that this is a reason to dance on the streets. This reason alone that we are Jewish and that we want to give Hashem nachas. It says, "Mashcheni acharecha v'narutza." Come after me, like Moshe. Draw yourself after me, and we will run. It jumps from singular to plural. Mashcheni. I ask Hashem, bring me to you, and I will run. Right? Let's follow the grammar. Bring me to you, and we will run. Who's we? Where did we get like a plural out of here? Who's the other one? Wow, thank you. Both nefesh, godly nefesh, and the animal lower nefesh, and also my neshama and my goof. I want my goof in on the job. In Kedoshim, there's so many mitzvahs that our goof does with our hands, with our feet. We run to Bas Medrash. Alka, we run. Where were you? Where are you? You ran today. Wow. You prepared all the food today. We do mitzvahs with our goof. Let our goof be on board. Let our goof also want to be to give Hashem nachas and to do His ratzon. So we could say Ritzoni lasos v'tzilcha, and we could be like Reb Shimon Bar Yochai, who Lag BaOmer, his yahrzeit is coming soon, and it's a day of celebration because every year his neshama is even higher. Well, you know what? Hello, us too. Every year our neshama gets higher. Why do you think it says Neseva Takum? Before an old person, you should get up, and you should honor him and do things for him and stand up. What is it? Save, I think 60 or 70. It says in Pirkei Avos, which one is save? Anyway, we're good. And because she has, and we'll have more until 120, all this time and years to learn Amunah, to share Amunah, to grow in Amunah, and to tell the world of Hashem's greatness, like you just did, Leah, with all His nisim. So may we grow into it and be worthy of that respect, and be joyful of every moment Hashem gives as an opportunity to live His will and to show His will and to share His nisim and His love that He has for us. And I think we're going to end.
You feel it every day. The creation is how we express our love.
Hey, ladies. Okay, so thank you very much, Miriam. Miriam is Hashem's cheerleader. And you know, she really does the job in bringing us joy and pumping us up and making us excited about our service, and we should feel well.
Does Miriam have a cough? Miriam has a cough today.
Hi.
Hi, you're coughing. She has a cough. Is she sick?
She's
okay? Okay.
Yeah.
How are
Thank
you?
you.
Good to see you.
Thank
Thanks.
Who else is here? Okay, Mitch. Okay, so we started before the break talking about this topic. Somebody got a phone somewhere?
Yeah.
Do we know whose it is?
No.
Oh. Okay, so we started talking about this idea of sheker litoelis, like lying for a positive purpose. Okay, and as you remember, it's not exactly lying. Okay, as you remember, so we talked about the fact that there are many sources, including Hashem telling Abraham Avinu that Sarah did not say, "My husband is old." Hashem said, that she said, "I'm old." Right? And there are many examples in Tanakh where we sort of seem to have truth as not an exact description of the facts, but rather truth is what makes people feel good, builds people up, makes a good situation, prevents war. Truth isn't just the facts. In Torah, truth is also what leads to a positive result. So we have instances where a person is permitted to tell something that is not exactly the exact repetition of facts, and so we're going to talk about some of them today. So Chazal tell us that Talmidei Chachamim, who normally do not lie under normal circumstances, there are 3 different areas where they are permitted to lie. Okay, and this is in matters of learning, in private matters, and also things relating to hosts and guests. Okay, so and it also says that Chazal, many poskim say that this also applies not just to Talmidei Chachamim, but also to us, to everybody else, to regular people. That depending on the circumstances, a person is allowed to modify the facts to a certain degree. Okay, so let's just talk about in matters of learning. So someone says to a Talmid Chacham, I heard you know all of Shas. I heard you're an expert in Masechet Eruvin. Says, no, no. Well, he is, but he's lying. He is an expert in that, but he knows, he's learned Shas 100 times. He knows Shas. No, I don't know. Exactly. So one reason why a person would be permitted to not tell the truth is humility, is that they don't want to present themselves as more than they are, and actually a person being circumscribed about their learning and about their knowledge it's quite an admirable quality.
Also the situation. First, also, the more you know, the more you know you don't know also. It's like,
Right.
So I'm sure he also knows as much as he knows, there's so much more.
Right, okay, so it's not a complete lie. And we actually mentioned this, that if there's when you do tell something that's not 100% the truth by the other standard, you should try and use language so that it's to not be accustomed to like having the real lies trip off your tongue. You should be, so it's true. Although listen, somebody who knows Shas by heart and knows all the poskim and knows all that, so it's
Judy, I think that what you said, there is truth in Hashem's mind.
yes.
So this is truth in Hashem's mind, because he is such a high level, he knows that doesn't matter how much he learned, still.
Yeah, there's more to learn. 100%.
This is
Okay.
but we have to be very, very careful.
Yes.
It's better not to lie. It's
Yes.
better until it's absolutely necessary.
Right, so someone hiding the.
This low our level and become really lie. So this very, very dangerous thing.
But there's probably other examples where they really, maybe that example you gave is like subject to all these interpretations, but like someone's like asked, like a real time, are you really clear on the laws of Shabbos. And he said, well, I'm working on it, kind of, like that would be a lie, like there's
Right.
many examples that it really
Right.
would.
Right. No, listen, there are situations where a person needs to be open about their capability so that
Right.
somebody knows that, oh, he said he doesn't know halakha. Well, now I'm not going to ask him a question, right? And I need somebody to ask a question.
Well, in TRorah, you humble, but if you ask your plumber, do you know how to do this? And he says, no, but he does. Or he says, yes, but he doesn't.
Yeah, good point. Okay, plumbing is a whole. That's why it doesn't. In this case, it's talking about in the realm of learning. So okay, so
It sounds like it's the same way. If you're just saying it out of flattery, that somebody might say no, but somebody says, there's really need, wherever it actually need is, they need somebody who's a bucky and moving, and they know, I don't really know, oh.
right,
That would be-
right.
Well,
Yeah, it depends on the
no,
situation.
I know it.
Yeah, it does depend on the situation. I mean, if it's kind of a cloudy kind of a thing, then maybe you could be honest about it. If someone really does need to have a specific answer, then you would handle it differently. Okay, so another area that's mentioned is a question of shame. Okay, so someone says, what masech are you learning? And you don't want to be embarrassed by not knowing the answer, so you say something else. And which just seems to me like a little bit, okay, so where's the humility here? But, when it talks about a Talmud Chacham, so a Talmud Chacham has this, he carries a weight. He carries this mantle of, he's not just himself. When you get to a certain point in learning, you then represent the Torah. And so what you respond to something is different than, I mean, it's the same thing. It's like somebody who very clearly looks Jewish and religious, and you're out in the world and you have this responsibility to act in a certain way, and you don't do anything that will shame yourself and therefore shame the Jewish people or shame religious Jews, or so that would be okay. Then he also mentions that let's say you made a mistake, you gave a wrong answer to something. So again, it's to protect the reputation. If it has consequences, let me just finish, Leah. If it has consequences, okay, meaning if somebody is posketing a halacha on somebody, you gave someone a psak halacha and it was incorrect, you're 100% obligated to tell them you were wrong, and you're 100% obligated to correct it. But if it's something else that's kind of in passing, not so clear, because again, you do not want to embarrass. Now, I'm not 100% comfortable with this. I don't think, like doesn't sit easy with us to hear this kind of thing. But like I said, the only what?
Why? I mean, I think it makes perfect sense.
Doesn't make perfect sense. Wait 1 second, Leah.
I've had examples of people that I see, they're obviously quick Shabbos. They don't know that that's a sore. And I would almost never tell them. Because I don't want to embarrass them. I don't know if it's my place to tell them. I mean, I can't say never, but it's such a sensitive, it's such a sensitive issue.
Right.
So it's not something.
I guess you have to know whether. I just want to announce, if anybody ever sees me doing something wrong, please tell me. Okay, so I'm open to being told that I'm doing something. What? Okay, the tickle. All right. Yes.
I think we should not be afraid to embarrass ourselves. If you do wrong, embarrass ourselves. It's our lesson. But we have to be very careful not to embarrass other ones. This
Okay.
is the point.
Okay.
The whole
No,
premise,
it's very good for the ego. I do the wrong, I won't embarrass myself. It's very good.
Okay, that's your avoda, Leah. That's your avoda. This man is quoting the halach, and he doesn't say the halach is good. Yeah.
premise that saying I made a mistake and I want to correct it is embarrassing, is a wrong premise.
Right.
Like, I would have more respect for somebody who says, I made a mistake and this is the right answer,
Okay.
or it was
Okay.
eating away at me, and so I went and checked it out.
Okay. All
So
right, good, good,
why is that an embarrassment? It's
good,
not. It's not.
good point.
I
Okay,
think we are talking about two different things.
yeah.
You are
You
ready
hear? You can
to
do this.
receive this message
Right.
because you're a learned person. If somebody who doesn't know anything and comes among people who do,
Yes.
and we will tell him, you made a mistake,
No,
and the person is not ready to
no,
receive.
так, здесь он embarrassing,
That's what,
not, but we can embarrass ourselves.
I'm not talking about embarrassment.
Actually, you're not
I-
supposed to embarrass yourself either.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. What were you gonna say?
What I'm saying is, if a person asks you, please tell me whenever, like you did right now, that's one story. If a person didn't ask you and you made a decision based on halacha, but the person doesn't even know that word.
No, that's.
So, I personally would never do that.
Okay. What did you want to say, Chaya?
I told somebody a story a few weeks ago, and I said it happened in 2015. And then I found out last week that it actually happened in 2014. But it was just a minor thing in passing. I'm not gonna go back and retell
Right.
that story to correct it.
Right.
However, if somebody thinks they're following halacha and they're doing something
Right.
wrong, you have an obligation,
Right.
you need to educate that person, not to get tolecha, not to embarrass them, but just because somebody's gonna see them and learn wrong from them, or they're gonna teach their kids wrong, and we don't need errors in Torah perpetuating.
It's delicate. It's delicate.
Extremely careful.
Yeah, it's delicate. How you put it.
You take them based on, you speak kindly to them, or you find somebody that is closer to them that they'll be more happy to accept it from, or something. There are ways to do it properly.
A wise man takes
Okay.
Excuse me, excuse me. What if we lie about not having studied our Pasha with our teacher, like Dvorah, when she says, have I done it? And I say, yes, I've done it, but I haven't done it.
Nished.
No.
Can't do it. Can't do that. That's a
know.
lot. That's not
Yeah.
really in this situation, but okay, you be good. All right, just one last point. Okay, so also included in this are Balei Tshuva, who do not have to talk about what they've done in the past. Okay, it's not necessary for you to say, oh yeah, me and my old boyfriend, and we used to
Go to McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, you do not need to publicize that fact.
But that's
What if
not a
it's like
lie,
it's
that's just
famous?
not saying
You
it.
would, what?
That's not a lie, that's not.
Did you ever go to McDonald's?
Yes. Oh, so that's my question.
No. No. Listen, maybe there's a better, everybody. Okay, maybe there's a better way of answering that question that you don't have to be as blatant about the lie. Like maybe, someone says, I don't know, did you ever have, such and such an experience? And then you go, wow, what a nice night it is tonight. I say,
Why would you?
Yeah.
Just-
Go to Susie for deflection instructions. Susie is a great deflector if you want to, because again, we said you don't want to blatantly lie. You don't want to use information, but you also don't need to say anything that embarrasses yourself or brings up something from the past that is no longer relevant to you. You did tshuva.
Not an embarrassment, not supposed to necessarily say all the things, but that's gonna help somebody else, something like that.
Right.
Not to say sort of pride. Even though you've done tshuva, there's a certain thing like we're sort of like saying, I used to do a favor. It's like as if that's like a thing to be proud of. No, you could say I did it before help somebody else do tshuva or whatever, and they're having a hard time. That's something else. Oh well, here's no problem.
Right. The Biala Rebbe once said to me, there's no reason for anybody to know such and such.
People should.
Nobody needs.
You are not allowed to.
It's,
Yeah.
okay, you're not Listen, some people have a story. Shh, please. Yeah, some people have a story, it's instructive, it helps other people, it's valuable to share it. Other people, like when that you did this and this thing, it's not, there's nothing to be gained by
Don't
it.
you think we've
Okay.
done two?
Julie, and you don't have application to answer every question. Absolutely.
Correct.
No obligation.
Correct.
Want to answer, I can be silent.